If you're not a resident of Maryland, DC, Pennsylvania, or Virginia, I love you, but just kindly keep it scrolling. Now, if you are one of my neighbors to the north or south, stay put, because we're about to talk about what you need to know to coordinate your pre-need, burial, and funeral expense coverage. So at this point, you might be asking yourself, who is this guy? Why does he care? Why would I listen to him? I am Austin Lewis, owner and managing broker of Bay Life Brokerage, a Maryland-based financial services brokerage specializing in life insurance, long-term care, disability, and annuities. Now, that Maryland part's pretty important to me, and you might notice by now that I also kind of care about where you live too, and I promise we'll get more into that later. But the reason why I care is because I was a 7-year employee of a large financial corporation called Transamerica as a financial advisor. Now, I joined this company straight out of college. I graduated from Salisbury University, that's right, go Goals, as an economics major. I'm also a 10-year veteran of the Maryland Army National Guard and a board member of the large Baltimore County Chesapeake Bay charity, the Back River Restoration Committee. Now let's get into it here. Why would you coordinate in advance the financing of your burial, funeral, and final affairs? And the answer is quite simple here. It's because in the wake of your loss, you don't want your loved ones to have to put their hand out or open a GoFundMe account in order to try to figure out how to make ends meet and even pay for your funeral or medical debt. Now, as you can probably tell by the caption, this video is specifically only for 45-year-olds and above. And you might be saying, wait a minute, Austin, isn't that a little late to be purchasing life insurance? And the answer in short is no. Anything is better than nothing, and more is better than less. The last age that I know of that an insurer will issue is 85. So if you're under the age of 85, it is not too late. The truth is, most of our clients have already purchased insurance to cover these very needs. But inflation, the rising cost of living, demand for burial plots, which is increasing the price, and rising costs of medical expenses have all made it so that additional insurance is needed by most to be better covered. You also might find yourself in this marketplace because you never thought coverage was necessary. You never purchased. And now you've recently dealt with the death of someone who was close to you, and you saw firsthand just how expensive and challenging organizing final affairs can be on surviving heirs. Probably the third most popular reason I have clients either buy their first plan or buy additional insurance is because they want to leave a legacy to their family. They've gotten to that stage in life where they don't have quite the amount of financial assets that they would have liked, but they know that several dollars of premium can buy them several $1,000s in death benefit to their family. And so because they don't already have several $1,000s put away, but they do have several dollars they can pay monthly, it's a good trade-off for them. But let's go back to that age thing real quick. You most likely already know that life insurance premiums go up with age. So as you get older, they get more expensive. So you might be asking yourself, what type of plan is best for someone over the age of 45 to purchase? Most of the top financial institutions in this country offer special products geared just towards those over age 45. These are called final expense products. Now, these companies make that product line with that age group specifically in mind. So they put features on these products that they don't use on other types of products, like standardized premiums, simplified medical underwriting, including guaranteed medical underwriting, and even offering Social Security bill pay. Now, you might know a little bit about insurance, and you might know that there are many different kinds. Two of the other main types are term and universal life. The reason why final expense is better suited than those products for this need is because, one, the rates are flat. So it's a rate that never changes, it never increases. So if you're on a fixed income like Social Security recipients, you don't have to worry about trying to rebudget your life insurance every other year. Two, coverage is permanent, right? So I'm sure you've all heard horror stories. You have that neighbor, you have that family member who had that life insurance plan that expired without them knowing it. Those were not final expense plans. Final expense plans are permanent as long as you pay the premium, so there's no chance of outliving the policy coverage. Now, a popular feature on any whole life policy is the idea of cash value accumulation. Now, final expense policies are whole life, so they do accrue cash value, and you can actually use that cash value on many of these types of products to do what's called a paid-up edition. A paid-up edition or a paid-up policy is basically trading in your cash value for a lump sum of permanent insurance and not owing any more premium. I know of products that can do this within 10 years. Just to repeat myself real quick, final expense plans are the only plans that can actually be guaranteed. So that medical underwriting that you go through on most of your term and universal life policies really do not apply to select few guaranteed final expense policies. This means if you're older and you've been through a little bit with your body and health, you don't have to worry about getting coverage because it's guaranteed by some companies who are willing to take on that risk. Now, before you go mailing off that AARP letter or answering Alex Trebek's latest commercial, you need to understand that the best way to buy any insurance is using what's called an independent broker. Independent brokers or independent advisors are not contractually obligated to any one company. So if you remember at the beginning of the video, I talked about how I was a career advisor with Transamerica. I was contractually obligated to bring business to Transamerica and no one else. Now that I own my own company, I am independent. I am free to choose whatever company best suits my client and their needs. So in the world of final expense, with all the different companies that offer all these different types of plans and new ones continuing to come out every year, you need someone to help you navigate those, find you the best plan and the best rate. And that's what I do for a living, 24 hours a day. Best part is it's free for you to use. A broker is free to you. We are paid by the financial institution that we bring you to, right? And these institutions are basically just hoping that their products are competitive enough that we're willing to put our name on the line and show them to our clients, and hopefully the client ends up choosing that one. If you aren't using a broker as your advocate and marketplace expert, and you happen to decide upon a plan with a company, that plan that you came upon is literally going to be the same price whether you use a broker or not. There is no part of your premium that goes to pay for my commission. Bring it on back down to our home here, the DMV region, Maryland, DC, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. I am only interested in doing business in the tri-state area because Bay Life is specifically a company that dedicates its profits and sweat equity towards restoring the Chesapeake Bay. And we do this by physically going around and picking up trash and also advocating through my position as a board member on a local Chesapeake Bay charity for things like added legal protections and restoration projects. So naturally, as a company, we only want to do business with those that share those same passions. And of course, what better place to look than the very states that actually border the Chesapeake Bay themselves. This also forces us to be accessible to our clients and maintain a high level of service because, of course, in a small tri-state area like this, reputation is everything. So if you're not in the tri-state area and you just hung around just to see what would happen, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Please send this to a friend that does live in the tri-state area, again, Maryland, Virginia, or PA, and you think also cares about these same issues and happens to be over 45 and in the insurance marketplace for final expense.